Thank you. May I request Professor Dr. Muhibur Rahman, Honorable Member of UGC, to deliver his speech. Professor Rahman.
Of this launching ceremony, Professor Ijazat Choudhury, Chairman, UGC State Minister, Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Nurul Islam Nahid MP, Minister of Education, Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, Honorable Special Guest, Dr. Johannes Zatt, Country Director, World Bank, Bangladesh, Nepal and Bhutan, Mr. Jahangir Alam, Project Director, HACCP, Professor Misbauddin Ahmed, Head Quality Assurance Unit, Professor Adhikari, QA Specialist, distinguished Vice Chancellors and senior academicians from various universities, Director of British Council, officials of the World Bank, HACCP Unit and the University Grants Commission, my fellow members of the University Grants Commission, our friends from the print and electronic media, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. Good morning. It's a great pleasure for us this morning that we have reached another milestone in our journey. Under his leadership and with cooperation of you, the Honorable Vice Chancellors, remember we had called you all to the University Grants Commission. With your cooperation and the committed efforts of our HACCP unit, led by the then Project Director Khanis Fatima, and dedicated officials like Mr. Kurban Ali, Mr. Mustaq Hussain, Mr. Mohsen, and the support of the World Bank friends, Dr. Mukhlis Rahman sitting there, Mr. Asabur Rahman, and Yoko Nagashima in Washington, we turned around. And we could utilize and inspire our academia to utilize about 400 crore taka, about 50 million US dollars, through 195 sub-projects, and bring about visible improvements in the universities. Personally, I visited most of the universities to help my colleagues. Dr. Zatt, you have also visited some universities, some sub-projects. And we note happily that the World Bank is now publishing success stories in its logs. This is a great satisfaction for us. We are also implementing the establishment of a Bangladesh Research and Education Network. And when we face difficulties, both our Honorable Chief Guest, Education Minister, Nurul Nahid MP, and our Chairman, Professor Ijazat Choudhury, they jumped in to rescue us. We had a lot of difficulties, but now it is being implemented, and we hope that by 2015 we shall have the network in place. In the meantime, we have also established a digital library, as Dr. Zatt mentioned, and we also have established a higher education management information system. Now, parallel to these activities, we also introduced the system of self-assessment of degree programs in our universities through 25 sub-projects, exposing about 1,000 faculties to this process. This was our first step towards establishing quality assurance mechanism for higher education in the country. Quality assurance means that the higher education has to meet certain predetermined standards or criteria. Though the basic idea is as old as the first university, Agricultural University of UN, I don't see as well. There are famous universities and other universities to take part in the process. The World Bank has here. We are using a part of it for the third round of Academic Innovation Fund, under which 135 sub-projects, totaling taka 35 crore, has already been awarded. We have using Taka 325 crore out of the funding. We have already established Iqbal Ahmad, a renowned educationist, to lead it. Regarding the establishment of IQAC, Institutional Quality Assurance Cell in universities. And today we are going to give a call for proposals. Take universities or even to advise them unless we are asked for. Every university has its autonomy to adopt good practices for higher education. We just want institute is made to identify good and to identify areas for improvement. We would like to see that the higher education institute compete with one another, both inside and externally, for good practices, which raise the quality of higher education and recruit your staff or promote your staff only on the basis of experience. And our UGC chairman for the dynamic leadership which is leading us to success. May I draw the kind attention of our honorable chief guest that we have a responsible market sustainable. We have to ensure that equipment that have been purchased in various levels by the universities from the second year onwards. And funds for this purpose will also be declared. The additional fund for these two objectives. With these few words, I thank you for your patience.
Apologize to really overtake our honorable minister, who is the chief guest. Reason is quite simple. As a UGC chairman, I have so many appeals to be made before to him and wanted the response as well. That is why we took the dais now. Honorable chief guest, Mr. Nur Islam Naik MP, Minister for Education, Governments of the People's Republic of Bangladesh. Honorable special guest, Dr. Johannes Jat, Country Director, World Bank, Bangladesh, Nepal and Bhutan. Mr. Professor Muhibur Rahman, Honorable Member, University Grants Commission, MD Jahangir Alam, NDC, Project Director HECUP, and Additional Secretary Government of Bangladesh. Hello. Professor Mesbauddin Ahmed and Professor Sanjay Adhikari. Professor Mesbauddin Ahmed, Chief of Quality Assurance Unit of UGC. Sanjay Adhikari, Quality Assurance Specialist. And the Honorable Vice of this project of both public and private universities. We don't discriminate between the private and public universities. Now we have got deans, outstanding academicians of Bangladesh, faculty members of different universities, officials of the government of Bangladesh, University Grants Commission, World Bank, British Council, and the friends from print and electronic media. Indeed, it is a proud privilege for me to preside over the launching ceremony of quality assurance mechanism in the universities of Bangladesh, first such ceremony ever launched in Bangladesh. Bangladesh in recent years, from 2008 to 2013, has witnessed a tremendous growth in higher education, at least in numbers. It was 1.125 million in 2008. Now it's over 3 million students in tertiary level education, and it almost tripled in few years' time. And this is an overwhelming achievement in the area of tertiary level education. Unfortunately, the quality of education, in spite of government's sincere effort, could not match the horizontal expansion of tertiary level education. what World Bank country director has rightly said, expansion in number is easier. Improving the quality is always a difficult job. Bangladesh in other sectors of areas of education has achieved an enviable success, such as 100% enrollment in primary education, great reduction in the percentage of dropout in secondary level, and a huge increase in the enrollment of tertiary level education. Credit goes to our Honorable Chief Guest and a dedicated, honest, sincere administrator come academia and academic administration and ministers. We are really grateful to our Honorable Prime Minister, who also gave education, one of the making education one of the topmost priority in our agenda, though it's not being reflected by budgetary allocation because of other constraints, but still education is very close to our heart. So now we have achieved the number that is desired in primary, secondary, and tertiary level. The concern for quality of education in all these areas has been expressed by many, including the World Bank. You might have seen a few days back, World Bank said that primary education quality is not that up to the level which it should be. But there are other reports as well where people say our achievement in Human Resource Development Index is only below India and one or two other countries. We are out of 18 countries in the world contesting for the position, especially our education system, all inclusiveness and giving a thrust for education, gender parity. These are the areas where we are making headway. And that is why our achievement in Human Resource Development Index is one of the few in the coming top few of the world 18 members. Now, the government has taken a lot of initiative in the form of forming a Prime Minister's Education Trust Fund, keeping an endowment of 1,000 crore taka for education up to the graduate level, and the money or interest generated from 1,000 crore are being distributed in addition to the other funds to the students and universities, and also in the school and colleges. The first phase, I'm grateful to the World Bank that they are implementing higher education quality enhancement project in Bangladesh. While I took over as UNC chairman, 2 years have passed from 2009 to 2011. Implementation rate was only 3 to 7%. I know the gestation period initial period is always slow, but even for that period, 3 or 5% implementation is not a promising one. World Bank from Washington and from local representatives were telling me that we are probably thinking to divert the fund to some other productive sector where implementation will be faster. I requested them, Mr. Moklis, Dr. Moklis is here at the time, and Nakashima, all from Washington. I requested them, why don't you give me 3 or 4 months time, let me try whether I can take it around with our colleagues in the university and also University Gas Commission and HECUP project. And time was favorable, we could do it. In 6 months, implementation went up to 36 to 40%. At the end of the year, it was 70%. At the end of a year and a half, it was about 97%. The World Bank was very happy, government was very happy, our minister was very supportive, and we got second round of HECUP project with a bigger amount of money. It was initially for 60 million, extended or increased to 90 million, and second HECUP project we have got $129 million endowment or grant to the second HECUP project. the HACCP project, we have got Academic Innovation Fund, where strengthening of the capacity, giving incentive and initiative to the innovation process, and also training of the manpower so that they can run their all academic endeavors. This HACCP project, first round and second round of Academic Innovation Fund are a great success in terms of publication in well-reported, cited and indexed papers, journals, and many of the products, those came out are waiting to be patented as well. This is an indication that these works are very important. And I believe at the end of a year or so, many of this patented will be internationally what they call registered. We had been to the World Bank office only a few days ago. They brought in and they took us to the different universities where they have got a cell or division for university industry collaboration, for patenting, and for commercialization of the invent and innovations. We are thinking to do that because HACCP 2 has a special fund for industry academic collaboration and also for patenting and commercialization of the invent or innovations. We're waiting for that. Now, this year, or now in this present situation, we're talking about the quality assurance. Quality assurance has been a great concern for all of us. You have seen for the last few days or few weeks, the UGC and University Grants Commission and the Education Ministry are having undue share of criticism about the failure of the private universities. I tell you very frankly, 5 or 6 or 7 private universities are falling behind. They can make up the standard, but when we go for taking action, they recourse to the writ petition to the High Court. And court, when they keep the stay order, we can't do anything. These 5 universities having 40 campuses make a bulk of graduates whose standards are not properly evaluated. The fault lies not only with the UGC or Education Ministry, lies with the Law Ministry, the Law Enforcing Agency, and I dare say so, the judges who are giving the stay order. Because stay order is all right. They have got every right. If a person is hurt or challenged by the executive order, anybody can go to the court and honorable judges can give the stay order and redress can be found there. But stay order should not be continued for years. Stay order should come to an end for the final hearing. Unfortunately, that never here. The jam of laws or what it cases, the stay order continues for 3 or 4 years. Who will take the responsibility of the graduates coming out of during that period? We could not go to the university. If we go and try to enforce our laws and regulation, they will say that he is interfering with the court, that we may suffer contempt of court. So, of course, I admit there may be some sluggishness in our side as well. But now we are thinking about improving the quality of education, approved universities in the public and private sector, and that through establishment of quality assurance unit in each university. And that unit will have sufficient manpower to monitor academic curriculum, teaching methodology, students' life and career advice, faculty recruitment and recruitment of the students, and also validation of their degree, and compare it with the global standard. A few days ago, our minister rightly said, we are trying to rank the private university in terms of their academic performance, in terms of adherence to the 2010 Private University Act, in terms of the number of students and quality of students, in terms of the teaching methodology they apply, and the faculty resources they have. And we will soon publish it. these are one of the crude methods of enforcing the quality assurance method. What Professor Mesbah, the Chief of Quality Assurance in UGC, has said, here we have got a set rule as followed by other globally, how to assess the quality of a program and standard of university, faculty reactions, and faculty assessment, assessment of the students' performance, and their need-based education, their employment and desirability to be employed in the society. This all should be taken into account. Of course, capital outlay for academic innovation and development is also a consideration in the assessment of quality assurance. Unfortunately, our budget for education is only 2.3% of GDP, while the budget, as UNESCO suggested, for education should be 5 to 6% of GDP. We have got 2 to 3% of GDP. This is 1/3 of what was prescribed or suggested by the UNESCO. We are grateful that World Bank has come up with some fund, which is quite reasonable amount, because HECA first and second round makes total amount of 250 million. And we are now asking World Bank or requesting World Bank to come up with further fund for the university colleges where 60% of our graduates are being taught and they get their graduation degree from. And there no intervention takes place. And that should also be seriously considered. Our private universities, many of them are doing very well. I tell you, one indication is that when we award the Academic Innovation Fund, those are peer reviewed by 2 or 3 or 4 experts in each respective field. In the first round, only 2 private universities got the award. In the second and third round, there were 14 projects in open competition with the private and public that were won by the private university. This is sheer indication that private universities, at least some of them, are excelling very well. Now, today we are calling for the proposal on quality assurance. 76 universities will get enough funding. It's about 130 crore taka for quality assurance project. First year of the project will be totally funded by the HECA. Second year onward, it will be phased and responsibility will lie with the Education Ministry. And that is why I'm speaking fast. Our Education Minister is quite generous, he tries hard, and I think if we get put a demand note to the government, money will be forthcoming. I also know that he has got a lot more students. Number of students studying in the Bangladesh from primary to the university level is about 40 to 50 million. And he has got 1 million teachers to be paid in the form of some government or subsidy or what you call the colleges where government gives the salary of the teachers. Those are enough of his headache, but I think higher education will definitely get more fund, because he will be surprised to hear that higher education allocation only amounts to 0.25% of GDP. Had there been no HECA project, I think all this will crumble and should crumble. I'm thankful again to the World Bank and also, of course, the British Council. They're also coming up with the brilliant ideas. They also support us in many ways. Now, I thank you all for coming here. Universities are run by the Vice Chancellor. They are the prime mover. They conceive ideas, they implement the ideas. It is their headache. We can only facilitate them from the University Guidance Commission. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your kind advices and valuable directions in this regard. Ladies and gentlemen, now
Good morning. Assalamu alaikum. আমি পরে আমাদের মাতৃভাষায় কিছু কথা বলবো। ইংরেজি ভালো বলতেও পারি না, আর বলতে মনে হয় আনুষ্ঠানিক ভাব থাকে। তাই একটা দুইটা কথাও না বললে আমাদের নিজেদের মনের ভাবটা প্রকাশ হয়। আমাদের বিদেশিরাও আছেন, তারা আমাদের সাহায্য কর্তা, সব মিলিয়ে আমাদের কিছু কথা ইংরেজিতে বলতেই হবে। Respected chairperson of this great event and the chairman of the University Grants Commission, Professor Dr. A.K. Azad Chaudhary, our respected special guest, the country director of World Bank, Dr. Johannes Kart, Professor Dr. Munibur Rahman, member of UGC, Professor Mesbauddin Ahmed, member UGC. Both of them are very much connected to this program which we are now discussing. The UGC respected members, project director of HECAP, Professor Sanjay Adhikari, representative of World Bank and the British Council and other international organizations, our respected and honorable vice chancellors of the universities, pro-vice chancellors, respected teachers and learned academicians, our friends from media, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you all, and assalamu alaikum. Today, we are going to launch the quality assurance mechanism in higher education in Bangladesh. It is a historic moment for the higher education sector in Bangladesh. It is a great pleasure and honor for me to be here in this quality assurance mechanism launching ceremony and the historic moment for higher education of Bangladesh. I thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and all the members of UGC for giving me this opportunity to be here with you in these great celebrations. Rapid transformations in society brought about by amazing development of information technology, globalization, and the growing complexities of economic pursuits and driving people to newer engagements of livelihood. All these factors force organizations to become more efficient and productive than ever before in human history. As such, nations and institutions that will succeed in future will be those capable of fostering creativity and innovation, managing and mastering this changing effectively. Quality education at the tertiary level forms the basis of creativity and innovation. Quality in education refers the outcomes of educational system in terms of knowledge, skill, and attitudes, which addresses expectations of stakeholders and national relevance in general. Ladies and gentlemen, it is very much in line with both the main targets and the education policy. Our National Education Policy 2010 is framed to achieve the national aims and dreams of our liberation struggle led by Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. The main aim of our education is to prepare our new generation to build up a modern digital Bangladesh. So, in this modern globalized world, we must prepare our new generations with modern and time-suiting education, standard education, science, technology, and skill, and also with high moral values and patriotism. We can't totally separate the higher education with other stages of education. Yes, everyone will not go for higher education or research. But from primary to higher education, there is a chain link through all the stages, primary, secondary, higher secondary. We prepare students for higher education in these stages. Again, for other aims, we have to prepare teachers for all stages of education to complete and continue the cycle. For last few years,